Hello. What is going on, ladies? I just had to check some stuff out, my sound and my light. Can you guys hear me? Cuz I feel like I was messing up a little earlier. Hi Tiff, hi Joanna. How are you ladies doing? It is good to see you guys today. I am excited about tonight cuz I'm just excited to share, Um if you are coming in, like the video and please subscribe. And if you have friends that you think would benefit from the content, please feel free to share it with them. Okay. It's not private in YouTube anymore. It's only private in the Divine Feminine. But that's because I put a little bit extra more, in input writing into that group. But it's you're more than welcome to share it with whomever you would like to share it with. Okay. So what's going on? Let me fix my mic. Our good vibe love tribe. It's all about the good vibes here. Okay. That's all we care about is the good vibes. Today, right? We are going to be talking about being a wife is not easy. Okay. It is not easy being a wife. We're going to be talking about the 5 top needs of men. All right. And, I don't want you ladies to think I forgot about you because I am going to do another one. Don't you worry. But, I always start with women first. I start with men first. And then, I bring up women because that's just the natural order of things. Right. So a lot of times as women, because I want to just get right into it because I don't want us to go over and then you guys lose your attention span and what have you. So a lot of times as women, we covet the position of wife. Every woman grows up, playing with their Barbies and dressing them up like as husband and wife. Like you had the Barbie, you had the Ken doll, and all of a sudden you wanted to dress them up and marry them. You was probably like 6 or 7 years old thinking about and fantasizing about your wedding and all these things. By the time you're in high school, a little older, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get married. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Then something happened. We start dating. We realize, whoa, it's not safe out here. This pool is crazy. And then we kind of throw marriage by the wayside. But a lot of women still want to be wives, still want, or they covet the position of wife. Like, when I get married, I can't wait to get married because when I get married, whoa, it is not that easy to be a wife. Okay. A lot of times the reason we want to do that is just for the provision and the protection that it provides for us. And it says that we're not going to be out here in this world alone. You know what I mean? Like there's something about women. We are the species that is sort of dependent, whether we want to admit that or not. We are the species that is dependent on men. Even if it's not your man, we are dependent on men. Okay. Like the masculine species provides rest for us. And a lot of women will not sit and let that resonate that they provide rest for us because your life looks very different when you have a man versus when you don't have a man. Now we're talking about men, ladies, not bums. Because if you have a bum, it looks the same. But if you have a man, your life looks very different when that man is around and you're with him versus when you are single. A lot of women they can't admit that. They just know I'm fine. I'm independent. I got it. Of course we have it. We're capable. But what I'm saying is that they provide rest and relaxation for us. Even for me. Okay. When you have boys, teenage boys, even they provide rest for you. I am never touching a heavy box, a heavy bag, trash. I'm just not doing that part. Because as long as they're here, that part is going to be done. I'm never going to be like, ooh, let me just drag this big 30-pound bag outside when my young, virile teenage sons are around to help. So the energy alone, the species alone provides rest for us. And the sooner we can acknowledge that, the better, okay? But I will say this, it is not an easy feat to be a wife, not a real wife, because like there's a such thing as a fake one, right? But when I say a real wife, I mean a real wife that plays the role, the real role that we are supposed to play in our husbands' lives. So you have some wives that get married and they get married for the glitz and glam of it, the white dress, the bridesmaids, they want the party. Then they get married and feel like their work is done. Whoa, no, that's when the work is just getting started. All right. And it's also not easy being a husband, I may add. So our next video is going to be called It's Not Easy Being a Husband and the Top 5 Needs of Women, because a lot of men don't know that either. Okay. So I've come to the realization, this bothers me so much, that for every other license in this world, we have to get education and training on it. So, daycare license, cosmetology license, tattoo license, gun license, whatever it is, a driver's license, you have to have some form of training in order to get licensed in that particular thing. But the two most important things in the world, which is having children and getting married, you don't need nothing for that. All you got to do is go down, sign your name on some dotted line, submit it, and give some money. And now we're married. The two most important things in the world, which is raising children and being married and cultivating a family, there are no classes for that. It's just beyond me. It's baffling to me. I'm floored, y'all, because I'm like, in order to do everything else in this world and get a license, you need some training, you need some classes, you need something. Now, here's the thing. I know churches be like, get your little marriage counseling before you get married. That marriage counseling be booty. I'm going to tell you, because I got it before I got married. I don't even remember what they talked about. And needless to say, that marriage ended in a divorce. So, you saw how that worked. Pastor, you were supposed to tell me we wasn't ready. You were supposed to say, like, y'all are not equally yoked. You were supposed to say something, but they don't care like that. They give you a couple classes. Oh, yeah. The Bible says, and da-da-da-da. And half the time, them pastors, I'm going to leave that alone. But half the time, their marriages ain't even good. They just stuck because they the pastor and they'll look crazy getting divorced. So, needless to say, we get our little pastor counseling and then we feel like we did something. Dun, 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 next scene. So, I really feel like there should be some really good classes on marriage and parenting, because, like, that's crazy to me. All right. So being a wife is not about the white dress, the bridesmaids, the party. We all want that party. We all want to come out, bring them out. We want to throw the bouquet. We want to dance all night. And you got to wake up to this man every single day for supposedly the rest of your entire life. Where's the classes? Exactly, Johanna. Like, come on. I know I'm not the only person that feels like this. I can't be. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's definitely not about the honeymoon phase. Now, let me prerequisite with this with people that see it. I don't know how to say this, but I don't listen to marriage advice from people who've been married for 5 minutes. And the reason I don't is because, not because I don't think they got the information. That's not it. But the acting out and the practicality of the information, the wisdom, the actual walking out of it in marriage is proved by longevity. It is not proved just because you got married. And I'm going to constantly say that. I know that there's a lot of people that, we have podcasts everywhere. We have things everywhere. And it's like, oh, I've been married a year. I've been married 2 years. I've been married 3 years. That's nice. And I'm glad. And I'm actually happy, because if you guys are happy and moving forward, you're going to continue that, hopefully. But there are people with real life problems and issues. And somebody that's been married 3 years, I just don't feel like can walk you through that. I feel like marriage the longevity of it, going through ups and downs and trials and tribulations and getting through those and having that testimony is when you can give advice to someone else about marriage and things in general, right? So let's start here. Being a wife is a whole job. Remember I said that last time? I was like, you got a job, you got a business, and then you're a wife, just slap it on top. It is the cherry on top of your life because it is literally a whole other job. It is not for the uncommitted and it is not for the faint of heart. I know a lot of women get married and they feel like, okay, well, if things don't go my way, if I don't like this, then I can easily just leave. Yes, you can, with consequences. Absolutely, you can. But it's not for the faint of heart. It is not for the people that are willing to throw the towel in the moment that something looks rough, the moment that things look bad, the moment that things look tired. Because here's the reality of it. Life goes up, it goes down. The pendulum of life swings always up, down, back up, back down, up and down, the same way our emotions are in flux like that. You are not going to feel loving feelings all the time. You are not going to feel committed all the time. But that is when your commitment that you made begins to show up. Another thing about marriage, which people don't actually know this as well, marriage is not in place for our happiness. It is in place for our growth and our evolution, and happiness comes as we grow. A lot of people be like, well, if I'm not happy, I'm leaving, or we're not in marriages anymore for unhappiness. First of all, kill the narrative that your grandmother was unhappy. Just kill it. Because now these new age women are like, well, we not our grandmother. Sis, grandma was happy. Grandma was not leaving because she was happy. We took the narrative of another race whose husbands were beating them and abusing them and then decided to jump on their feminist movement when our men were not doing that to us. Yeah, they might have been doing a little cheating, but here's the thing. Cheating has been around since the beginning of time. It's going on now. Some of y'all getting cheated on now and don't even know. Hell, I could be getting cheated on right now. I don't even know, but I'm not trying to find out. I'm not snooping for it. So I'm not saying it's okay, but what I'm saying is this has been going on since the beginning of time. And it's probably going to continue to go on after the beginning of time. My own father said it is not natural for a man to be monogamous. It is supernatural. There is a lot of evolution and growth and killing of his flesh that has to cause him to desire monogamy. And it's usually because of the headache of multiple women, because multiple women are a headache. It's not lit. All right. And once they get older and they get a better head on their shoulders, they start to actually realize it is not worth my family. It is not worth losing what I have loved, sacrificed, and compromised for to lose everything. Y'all don't mind my face. It's kind of mad shiny. I tattooed my eyebrows today. So I'm looking at them in the camera like, well, why they look so dark? But they're tattooed. So if they be moving and acting a little crazy, they're a little numb and they're like burning a little bit. So let me prerequisite with that. I don't want y'all to think I'm up here looking weird. But yeah, so marriage is nowhere does it say anywhere in any book that marriage is here for our happiness. It's here for our growth because happiness comes from within. It doesn't come from without. So married or not, you're supposed to be happy with you, for you, in you. And then your marriage is supposed to be an extension of that. That's why it is very important who you marry. Make sure that you are compatible, equally yoked with this person in goals, spirituality. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about your spiritual walk, how you want to raise kids. These are all things that should be talked about before you become the wife. Because I promise you this, navigating it while you're already a wife makes it so hard. It's not even funny, okay? So just remember, you are in your relationship to grow. Your relationship is always a mirror. It is always going to bring out the deepest, darkest recesses within you that needs to come out and be purged and cleansed. That's it. If you got mommy issues, daddy issues, abuse issues, um, uh, self-awareness issues, these are all going to come out while you're married. Trust me. If you got selfish issues, empathic abilities, narcissism tendencies, these are all going to come out and be exposed in the marriage. That's what it's there for. It is there for us to grow. It is there for us to see these things, become aware of these things so that we can then change these things. There is nothing bigger in life that can cause a catalyst for change in a human being besides marriage. Because guess what? Work is not going to do it. You are a different person at work. You are phony AF at work. So nobody actually gets to see the real, dirty, deepest, ugliest parts of you. Nobody sees that because we're able to dress it up real well. Remember I said we're in the dressing room. We could dress that up real well. Oh, parties. Oh, I'm the life of the party, but I'm home really crying because I'm depressed. But guess who gets to see that? The person that lives with you. You can have a husband swagged out, got all the swag in the world, but when he come home, you're the one that gets to see that he really has low self-esteem. You're the one that really gets to see that he's not feeling or being himself. You're the one that gets to see really how despondent and deficient he may be. That's why marriage is here for growth. It's not here for happiness. Happiness comes when you jump the hurdle and you learn the lesson and you win every time. I'm not talking about the war. I'm talking about the battles, the small battles. That's where happiness comes. I can be so angry at my husband in my mind, like, oh, this is done. I can't do this no more. Then the moment we get past it, I'm at my happiest because I'm like, yo, we did that. How were we able to get past that? It shows me me. It shows me what I got inside me. It shows him what he has inside him. Then we ride that wave until the next battle comes, and we got to win that one together. You got to realize that you are on the same team. You are not fighting each other. You're fighting everything that is coming against the institution of your marriage. Okay? So now, let me say this. A wife is a role. It is a position. A lot of people don't like to look at it like that because they want to attribute marriage with emotions. Listen, Johanna, because it's an unorthodox thought. That's why. Nobody wants to hear the real. They want the fantasy in their mind. Nobody wants to hear the reality of things. So I totally understand you, because when I tell people that, they be like, what do you mean? What do you mean it's for? No, we're here for happiness. No, you're not. No. Happiness is there and it will come, but that's not what you're there for. And if you keep your mind on that, you can stay focused. The same way I'm at work to do my job and get a paycheck. I'm not there to always be happy being there, because my emotions are always in flux. What if I'm just not happy today? So how am I going to be happy at work today if I'm not happy today on my own? People don't get it. So a wife is a role. It's a position. A lot of people don't like that because it takes the emotion out of it. And we as women, we are emotional. Yeah, stop. Understand exactly what it is, though. It is a role. It is a position, just like any other position that you play, any other position that you are in. No different than work, okay? At work, you have a CEO, a chief executive officer. Then you have a COO, a chief operating officer. And then you got some employees. That'll be the children, okay? So you got the CEO, the husband, the COO. So the CEO, they don't come out the office sometimes, but they don't get in the mix with the lowlies. They're up here. They give out the executive orders, the executive commands. That's what they do. The wife is the chief operating officer. What she does is she makes sure that the commands that the executive officer brings down, that they're implemented in the house. And then the employees are the kids. They just got to do what everybody tell them to do. So whether it comes from the CEO, the COO, Then the little employees got to do whatever they say. So now, if my husband, being the CEO, says, I don't like the kids eating this much candy, I don't like them eating this much fast food, it is now my job as the COO to say, when the kids say, can I get McDonald's? No, because that's against the rules. Now we have our own opinion about it, but this is how it will work most efficiently and effectively without the resentment coming from the husband saying, well, this is what I said. See, this is the problem in most relationships. Women are trying to fight for the authority in the relationship. It is not ours to have, it is theirs to have. And so as we're fighting for authority, we're the one that's out of order, not them. And then when we're not happy, we don't realize why we're not happy. It's because we are the puzzle piece that's not fitting. It's not fitting right because that's not what you're supposed to be doing. All right. So my parents used to always start their marriage workshops with this. They would say, what is the 4-letter word that makes marriages work? Like, what do you think marriage is based on? What's the 4-letter word? And everybody would yell out love. And they would be like, no, that 4-letter word is work, because it takes work to be married, and stay in a loving and committed relationship, especially when we don't have loving feelings all the time. Okay. We cannot get away from the work that is required in relationships. It is always going to be work, because you are always supposed to be growing into a bigger, better version of yourself. So that work is never supposed to stop. As you're working on yourself, the marriage and the relationship is automatically being worked on, because you're noticing things about yourself that you can change or add to the situation to make it better. And this is for both parties, not just the woman. If you are married to a man who is not committed to self-growth and awareness, then you married the wrong man. He's going to stay stuck. You're going to be growing. And at some point, you're going to outgrow him. And then it's going to be hard to respect him. Okay? So just remember this. And that's why I wanted to say that and prerequisite it, like give you that first, because we as women cannot just jump into a relationship and marry a man. Just because a man wants to marry you and he cute and he got some good sex and he dressed nice, that is not enough for us to marry him. A lot of times we be like, oh my God, he's so blazing. Oh my God, he's so nice. Oh my God. We should not be getting married only because we love him. And the reason I'm saying this is because love gets old for women, because our emotions flux so much. We can love you and not like you. That can wane away at times, like, you getting on my nerves. He's not even lovable at that moment. So we should not be only getting married for love, ladies. Like, oh, I just love him. That's what I did the first time. Wah, wah, wah. Love. I loved him. I just loved him so much. Love, 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 love. That's all I talked about. I love him. And that was surely not enough. Now, I don't charge him to our relationship breaking up, even though he did have the affair with my best friend. That's not why we broke up. I mean, it is the big part, but really he was irresponsible. Really, he was young. Really, he was sneaky and he was a liar. And there was a lot of things that was going on at his young age that was just like, ilk, and I was much further along than he was spiritually. So I always felt like submitting to somebody that was lower than me spiritually was weird. It just couldn't work out. But there needs to be other things in place besides love, because you're going to quickly find out that it takes a hell of a lot more than love to make a relationship work and to make a relationship last. Okay? It is not for the faint of heart. It takes tons of strength, vulnerability, emotional integrity, letting go of your ego, compromise, brutal honesty, etc., etc. Like, it takes all of these things to keep a marriage wheeling forward. So let's talk about the 5 most important needs of men. And we're going to get into those really quickly. All right. make sure that these are some things that you have the capacity to offer in their entirety before you offer or accept a man's ring. When I say offer, I mean offer yourself to a man, not offer a man a ring. I do not believe in women asking men to marry them. So if you thought that's what I meant, scratch that, okay? We don't ask men to marry us. But I'm saying, before you're willing to take a man's ring, please make sure that you're willing to offer these things and how it's translated to them. You might know what the needs are, but you don't know how they translate to them, because sometimes when women, we lack a lot of awareness, y'all, when it comes to the male species and how they think, but we want them to understand how we think too. And here's the reality of it: men be understanding how we think and move more than we understand how they think and move. They be having us figured out sometimes, and we be like, dang, like you caught me. But for them, we just don't get it because we weren't taught to understand what the masculine energy likes, because both parties, men and women, have the tendency to be slightly narcissistic because, and I don't mean narcissistic, the disorder, I mean narcissistic traits, because we are all taught preservation of self. That's why. We all want to preserve ourselves, our feelings, our safety nets, and what makes us feel comfortable. And sometimes we will do whatever it takes to get that. Okay? So the first number one need, y'all know it, because I say it all the time. A man's number one need is respect. He translates love and respect synonymously. There is no break in the two. If you do not respect him, he does not feel your love, period. I don't know why. I wish I knew. Jesus, help me, come down on me. But I don't know why they don't feel the feelings of love unless you're respecting them. Now, let's delve a little deeper into what that looks like, okay? All right, so the need for respect drives the man even more so than sex. So it doesn't matter how cute you are, how big your butt is. Eventually, the perceived level of respect that a man receives will usually dictate their level of happiness with you. So if they do not feel respected, eventually, over time, they are going to feel like you do not love them, and they are no longer going to be happy with you. You will become a disdain for them. You will become an agitation to them. You will become something that they looking at disgusted, like, ugh. Because we don't understand that respect is their number one need. Remember I said in my last video, like, yeah, women need respect. We like to be respected, but they need respect like the air that they breathe. Without it, they have nothing. Without it, they don't feel like a man. So even in my husband used to say this, and he used to grind my gears. He used to say, I don't want to misquote him. He would say, 1% disloyalty. No, 1%. No, 99% loyalty is 100% disloyalty. Meaning, like, if you don't give it all, like if you're not loyal, respectful in its highest capacity, none of it counts anyway. It's almost like, yeah, well, you did it, but you did that. So they literally need to feel respected at all times and in everything. Now, how does that look? Let's see. So as we know, if they don't feel the respect from you, their magnetism towards you will start to wane away. They'll start to spend more time out the house, more time doing other activities, more time in their space. Like, if they got a man cave, that's where they at most of the time. If they got a hobby, they're going to be doing that most of the time. They start to like wane away from you just a little bit. All right, so this is what respect to him looks like. One, how you present yourself. Remember, we talked about that. Beauty is relevant. How you present yourself to him matters. Your attitude, how you look, putting effort into your self-care, you know, toes, hands, feet. And I'm not saying spend $90 for your manicure and pedicure. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is putting effort in and taking care of yourself. All right. The second way is how you represent him. How are you acting and conducting yourself when you're out? Most women don't have this problem, but some women feel like, don't try to change me. I am who I am. I was watching Ready to Love, and a guy, this woman was at a pool party. She was being a little loose at the pool party, and her romantic interest, was like, how they do the outtakes. He was like, I'm not really feeling how she acting at this party. She being a little wild. She being a little loose. And he pulled her to the side very nicely. And he said, just chill a little bit, calm down, um, you don't gotta, be all out there. And she was like, what? What do you mean? I don't understand why you would even say that to me. Then in her outtake, she was like, nobody's gonna change me. Nobody's gonna change Tandy. Okay? Nobody's gonna change me. I am who I am. Girl, that is the most foolish thing you could ever say. Because everybody needs a little bit of change and altering. That's number one. Nobody's perfect. Number two, no man wants you out at a pool party acting loosey goose, dancing on everybody, twerking on everybody, being the loudest woman in the room, being the most obnoxious woman in the room, being the wildest person in the room. That is an embarrassment to him. So how you represent him, in his mind, your actions while you're out could be disrespectful. You out, you're like, well, I mean, he don't care. I be twerking, I be doing this. Most men that are men do not want other men gawking at their wives, which again is their extension of their property. They're just not feeling it. Okay? Men, the same way we have our divine intuition, they have an instinct of masculine protection. They are wired to scope, detect, and perceive threats and remove them. Their wife, wilding, acting crazy, being loud, being loose, is a perceived threat. One wrong move and you could get hurt. One wrong move, you're too drunk. Now you arguing with another man. Now he got to fight that man. Danger. One wrong move and a guy could violate. Now you gotta handle the violation. They are always going to be wired to detect and remove threat. That's why they don't like you going to certain places. That's why they don't like you being certain places when they're not there. When you be like, I'm going to the club, you might as well set a siren off in his head. Because in his mind, that's like your teenage daughter saying that she's going somewhere where there's a bunch of men. Think about it like that. Think about how you feel about your teenage daughter being in a dangerous place. Most times you want to be like, you can't go. I don't want you going to that. That's exactly how a husband feels, even though you're grown, when you say you are going to be in an arena where he's not there and there's other men there and danger could erupt. How you speak to him. Not you laughing when I'm being so serious. Y'all, I always have to choose violence when I be talking to my sister, for real, like my real sister. Like, I give y'all the nice version. When I be talking to her, I be giving her the no holds barred version. Like, I might as well be WWE and jump off the rings on her, because that's how I be having to talk to her, because she think everything is funny. Jesus. And I be so serious. Anywho. So, how you speak to him. Some women, we don't understand the tone of our voice and how we're speaking. It is something to be worked on. I did not realize this. I learned it with my first husband. He told me about it. He was like, because I'm bossy by nature, and I'm not now, though. It's weird. I don't have that bossy thing with this husband. I think because I just know I can't do it. So I'll be like, mm. But with him, like I would just be joking. I'd be like, stop, you're so stupid. And he could not stand me saying things like that. And so one day he told me, and he said, it's my trigger. It has nothing to do with you. But my mother used to call me stupid growing up. And it just bothers me when I hear it. And I never, ever, ever did it again because certain things are just something to be worked on. And you can't be defensive every time somebody says something or have a reason for why you're doing it. It doesn't matter what the reason is. They just don't like it. So work on it. My husband always tells me he cannot stand apologies. He does not want me to apologize. He just don't want me to do it again. If I be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He'd be like, you don't got to apologize. I don't even need all that. You don't got to apologize. You don't even got to be sorry. It's my responsibility now to tell you that I don't like it. I don't care for that. And it's your responsibility to work on that and try your best not to do it again. That's all I ask for. That's it. All I ask for is the acknowledgement and you try not to do it again. That's it. You don't got to grovel. You don't got to be sorry. You don't got to do all that. So they just don't want you. They want you to just try not to do it again. Just don't do it. There's a lot of women that don't know how to talk to men. Like even for me, I don't disrespect any man. It doesn't matter who it is. That's just how I was raised. I don't disrespect uncles. I don't disrespect my brother-in-law. I don't disrespect my brother. I don't disrespect my father. I don't disrespect men. If men are around, there's a level of respect that I have. One, because of the respect that I just have for the masculine species, but two, out of the respect that I have for my husband. I don't disrespect other men because then he would have to handle the disrespect that I put out toward the other man. Do you guys understand? We put them at risk for danger when we don't know how to conduct ourselves. Then there's women that just their husband talk and they're like, shut up. I couldn't imagine. I just couldn't imagine. Or women that are just, sarcastic. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. You're smart. That was smart. Duh. Ooh. What? Why are y'all talking to him like he is a kid? Or just that, talking to him like he's a kid. Can you please take the trash out? You know I don't like when the trash stinks when I come in the house. Are you gonna wash these dishes? Are these socks gonna pick themselves up? Can you please get your sneakers out the middle of the floor? Thank you. Jesus, it's like talking to one of the kids. And then you wonder why he out here cheating with the girl with the air mattress. You don't know how to talk. There is a way to say all of that. I don't even say that. When my husband cleans up, I'd be like, oh my God, this room looks amazing. It hasn't looked like this in some time though. You must have been busy. He knows that means like, oh, I must not have cleaned up in a minute. But I'm never going to address when it's super dirty. Right. Arguing with a man is toxic, period. One, men usually don't argue with women. And if they do, you've dragged them there. But two, most feminine women don't argue. We just don't do it. Like, I don't have the energy to argue, to be honest. If he has an issue with me, I usually just try to listen and say, okay, I hear you. I could see that. If he is being argumentative, I just stay quiet. Because the biggest thing, this is the one thing that feminine women don't have, which is a huge ego. And you have to remember that nobody can argue with themselves. So even if they're trying to go sick and you're not saying anything, they're going to look even more stupid going wild flow sick and you're just quiet. Now they're being an abuser and they would realize that like, whoa, she's not even fighting me back. Also, when you start arguing a man, it just in their mind, it will always justify the behavior that they're already doing. So they're not going to be motivated to change. They're only going to say, see, this is what I mean. You always dragging me to. They're going to justify their behavior. When you say nothing or you're just kind of like, After a while, they're yelling. They're going to only be hearing themselves, and it's going to make them look crazy. So you yelling why again? Because I'm not. I realize when I do that to my husband, he looks so cheap. He just be like, when he going so sick, I be like, oh, okay. Next thing you know, his voice taper down, then it taper down more, then it taper down more. And the next thing it's like, you understand what I'm saying? I do. Because you cannot argue by yourself. Joanne, I don't know. But air mattresses be losing their little wins, so I don't know how they be doing that because the little air be coming out the air mattress sometimes. But it don't stop them from doing it. They out there with the girl that work at Dunkin' Donuts and you just trying to be lit, and they over there and you home because you don't know how to talk to somebody. Ladies, that is a big deal for us because we will always be better with our words. Always. We will be able to walk up one side of them, down the other, chop them down at the knees. So that is our power. So we have to wield it wisely. Because once you say certain words to men, you cannot take those back. If you ever mad and you like, that's why you a broke ass nigga. He's never going to forget those words ever, 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 ever. And everything that he does will only be motivation to combat those words. And then once he gets to where he's going to be, he's going to leave you. Like, nah, remember when you said, and you're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't even mean that when I said it. I didn't even mean it. And he can be like, yeah, well, so thought about it. Shouldn't have said it. I was down and now I was off my feet. And then you going to break me down when I was off my feet? Y'all, that's the power we have, but we have to wield it wisely, okay? The next one, how you allow him to lead. Are you always questioning every decision that he makes? Do you always be like, I don't like that. I don't think that. I don't think we should do that. I don't think that. Why do we always got to do it your way? I don't want to do it. I don't. Disrespectful to them. We will never see that as disrespect. We're only going to see it as we're just asking a question. And if I don't agree with it, why should I have to do it? In their mind, disrespect. You're supposed to be going with my lead. This is what I have found, y'all. This is a secret. Women, because of who we are, our battles are always fought in the metaphysical and the spiritual arena. You never should be fighting your battle physicality to physicality to a man. Ever, 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 ever. So here is what I do. When my husband has an idea that I don't like or I don't agree with, I will say, oh, okay, that might work. That'll probably be good. And then I go to my manifestation closet, your prayer closet, whatever it is. If it is supposed to be, it will be. If it's not, it will fall apart. But what he won't have is the excuse that the power of your words tore him down in the process of it. I don't say anything like, even if it's like something he's doing wrong, I don't even always say nothing about that. Because in my head, I go, ooh, now life has to teach you the lesson. Because men always won't hear it from us. They don't always hear it from us. When we saying it, it's like in one ear and out the other. But you better believe when life teaches the lesson, they'll go back to it and be like, I can't tell you how many times my husband's come back and said, you know what? This didn't work out. It probably wasn't supposed to work out because A, B, C, and I'll be sitting there going, in my head, because in my head, I know that my power is bigger. I know exactly what happened. I know exactly why it didn't work, and I will never tell you. See, that is the thing. We be wanting to be so egotistical and win the fight. You did win. You did. You just didn't have to do it verbally. You didn't have to do it physically. My husband do something to me, I don't even always say stuff. Like, I don't like the way you did that. I don't like the way you said, I don't like the way you treated me. Because in my mind, now I know it's coming. It's coming. And now you're going to have to learn the hard way. oh man, I actually end up having compassion because now you're going to have to learn the hard way. It really is something to spirituality in the Bible where it be like, God be like, cast your cares on me because I care for you. I will fight your battles. You do not have to fight them ever. Life comes around and life will remind us and teach us the lessons that we need to learn, husbands alike. You don't got to do all that. You don't got to do all this talking. We talk too much. You don't have to do any of that. They will see for themselves because they have to. All right. How you disagree with them, which I went into. You don't got to, there's nothing that you don't have to disagree. If you don't agree, it's fine. Like, oh, well, I see it differently, but okay. Or if you don't agree with a decision, sometimes just let them have it. Like, just let them have it. It's not that deep. You don't got to win everything. Just let them have it. They need that. We don't. There's other needs that we have. And when you don't allow him to make decisions, like he is supposed to be able to make decisions for you guys and the household without always consulting you. And I know that is a big one for women. Because we are one now and he needs to tell me and then go do it. Not necessarily. That's considerate if he tells you. But he should not have to tell you. My husband's getting a really big lump sum of money. He's just waiting to unlock it. It actually is processing now. And when he told me what he wanted to do with the money, I was like, oh, okay. I don't even get involved into monetary transactions. But he wanted to reinvest the money. And I was like, oh, okay. Sounds like a plan, blah, blah, blah. But FYI, I need a new laptop because I spilled water on mine. And, and I think I said something else that I needed. But after that, have at it. Whatever the decision is, doesn't even matter. He's telling me, but he's not telling me because he wants my permission. He's telling me because he's being considerate. Just, this is what I'm going to do because this is the plan. You got to be able to allow a man to lead and have a plan that you actually follow sometimes and not try to lead yourself. All right. So the next need, y'all, this deserves my banner. Let me just put it up so y'all know. What? Oh, wait. Let me make sure it's there. Oh, here we go. Yes. Boo, y'all. Y'all, this is the second need for men. Sex is a very powerful force in a man's life because it allows him to feel in a way that nothing else can. When men have sex, endorphins and adrenaline is released. Here's the thing. A man is always in fight or flight mode. Almost 88% of the time. He's in fight or flight mode. Fight or flight mode means that there are situations and things that happen and occur in regular everyday life that causes him to want to react, but he can't because, remember, they're primal. They're like beasts sometimes. And there are things that bother them that they can't do what they really want to do. They might want to beat on their chest and pummel somebody to a pulp, but they can't. So now adrenaline is always released in the body. They're always in fight or flight mode. And one of the only ways to release that is to fight or run. If they don't do one or the two, these things build up in your body and in your system, men and women alike, and it contributes to killing you. Hence why men don't live as long as women do. They are constantly having those surges in and throughout their body throughout the day. One of the biggest ways to release that is sexual. That's just the reality of it, okay? He, as a man, needs you to respond to him sexually more often, y'all. All right. And when I say we're on number 2, when I say he needs you to respond to him sexually more often, I mean that as women, this is why when I get to the top 5 needs of women, that men need to understand this as well. But men need sex, period. I don't know how else to say it. They don't want you always denying sex. Oh, not tonight. I'm tired. I got a headache. Now you whack, okay? I just gotta be real. When you was dating, you was having mad sex. That's what is one of the things that caused him to say, oh, I could be with her long term, because that is one of the barometers that they judge you on. Then, as a man, they're automatically assuming that it's going to get better when they get married. Whoa, only thing is, it be getting worse because now we feel like we got them, so we don't got to do that as much. They also need you to initiate sex from time to time. Tiff, remember we had this conversation? Me and my sister be talking like real. And we was talking some time ago. And I'm just going to like spill our bag real quick because she probably don't care. Because it's me and her. Like we're in this together. So we are very docile creatures. Now, mad sexy, don't withhold sex, but not the biggest initiators in sex. And both our husbands ended up saying it to us. So I ended up telling her, or she was telling me, I was like, oh my God, he said that too. So it was something that we had to vow to work on. Because it's like, I don't be thinking about that. I be thinking like, you initiated so much, what I got to initiate for? But they really, remember I said in my last video that guys want you to want to have sex? So they don't want to always have to come after you for it. They want to think that you want it too. So, I had to start doing the the emojis during the day, like little stuff like that, to kind of like be like, okay, now this is the start. Now it's like I've kind of gotten away from that. But like now I'd be like, oh, you want me in this? Now I just come out with something on that says, whoa, okay, this what we doing? I listen, game on, computer off, lights out, kids go to bed. Like, no, yeah, Tiff, they should. That's the number one thing. They do, but they want you to initiate it once in a while. They definitely do initiate it more because they be the ones that want it more. Let me look at this comment. My ex always complained about me not initiating, but honestly, I didn't have a lot of respect for him, so it was hard. Ooh, yes. I cannot even get into that because that will be on the needs of women. But yes, I understand exactly what you're talking about because women's sex drive. It's amazing how we are like pieces to a puzzle. A woman's sex drive will turn off if a husband is not operating as the man of the house. Hey, Kima, I can't see your name, but yes, okay, I got you. So yeah, I totally get it because I went through that too, where it was like, listen, I've been with my husband for 17 years with some periods of separation, and I had never declined sex ever until around 2017 or 18. And I think he heard no for the first time ever, and it floored him. When I tell you he was taken out, like could not get over it. You told me no. And he didn't say it right then. It came up like months later in another argument. Like, you said no? Yeah, because I'm not feeling you. But it is one of those things that they need, desire, inquire. And if you ain't giving it to them, you might as well just go pick the side chick out for him. Go do a lineup. I tested these girls. Okay. These girls' health came back pure. She look cute. She don't really look like your type. Her butt ain't big enough. her boob's a little small, but you don't care about that. You might as well help him pick her out. Because unfortunately, that's how it works. Sign another comment. Also, I feel like it should start in the morning, like romance, etc., etc. Exact. I am not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you because the comments ain't laughing. Okay. I'm not laughing at you. What I'm laughing at is the abruptness of how you just busted in the chat with that. So, the Facebook user said he always complained about me not initiating, but honestly, I didn't have a lot of respect for him, so it was hard. But then she just busted in and said he cheated on me. So, listen, yes, come to YouTube. You want me to send you the link, Makima? Listen, you gotta come to YouTube. This is where everybody is at. This is where the people are. So yes, Natima, I'm telling you, we all know that feeling when you just lost respect or they just burdening you down and now you're like dry as the Sahara Desert. Okay. I'm not trying to initiate nothing because I don't even want you near me. I'm hoping you forget that you want to have sex because I don't want that. But it is one of their second needs. And then Tiff, you said, I feel like it should start in the morning like romance, period. Because what happens is that they forget that that's a big part of our need. And we are going to get into that next week. It's not going to be next week. It's going to be Wednesday, but we are going to get into that. My father taught a lesson before. I read a book. It says sex starts in the kitchen. You forgot your password to YouTube? Oh God, girl. Okay. She can't come in, y'all. She got lost. She can't get in she gotta stay in Facebook. But yeah, it says sex starts in the kitchen. And that meant that like hugs, affection, kisses, lovingness, you know. But there is gonna be sometimes, ladies. My own husband told me this before. We were watching a podcast, and sometimes we watch other stuff to get each other's like viewpoints, and then it gives us talking points for us to come up with realizations about ourselves. And there was this guy that was saying, yo, sometimes like men need a lot of different kind of sex. They like romantic, loving, kissy sex, but at the same time, they also want the kind of sex where they could grab your hair. They don't want to see your face. They don't want to see nothing. They want to be a little rougher. You know, put their hands around your neck. And they need that kind too. And you got to be willing to be a little bit of both. And not take it personally. They don't want to kiss you tonight. They don't want to do all that. Hey, Kenya, thank you so much. They don't want to do all that. Okay? Here's another thing. Y'all, I just hope that y'all forgive me for this, but they need you to be good in bed. Okay? I don't know another way to say it. I don't know. Yes. Natima says, foreplay starts at the top of the day for me. Goodbye, hugs and kisses, flirtatious texts and conversations throughout the day, groping when you get home, all that, period. Yes. Grab my butt before you leave. Smack it. Kiss the back of my neck. Grab me all hard. Push up against me. Now all day I'm like, like an idiot. Yes. We all need that. Absolutely. So my next thing is, y'all, you got to be good in bed. I don't know another way to say it. Okay? It be girls out here that be thinking their cute looks and their body shape is going to do it. I don't know. I don't know. Watch YouTube. Learn how to dance. I don't know. But some women are just not good in bed. They're a little whack. I don't know how else to say. Like, we all know we got friends that be kind of whack. And you be like, ew, you whack like that? Like, you don't be doing that? You know? Some people are younger, but sometimes you gotta be a little nasty, like, or real nasty, you know. Guys like stuff like that. That's why they be watching porn, y'all, because it's like a fantasy. Those porn stars are getting paid to be a guy's biggest or worst fantasy. And they still want those things. And that's why they be getting side chicks, because side chicks be letting them do that stuff because they're trying to win him. So they be trying to get him. So they let him do whatever. And then he get home to you and he's like, oh, I'm committed to her. I love her, but she kind of whack. Same position, missionary all the time. You just always want to be on your back, being whack. Like, you can't do that. You have to be good in bed. Be a little spontaneous. Be a little adventurous, do some stuff that, they remember and think about over the course of the day, right? Because you want it to be you and not somebody else, all right? And the last one for sex is never use sex as a weapon, guys. I know we get upset with them, we get angry with them, and we will withhold sex because we feel like we're not getting our needs met. It will always backfire, ladies. It will never turn out well for us because, again, they have the capacity and the capability to entertain multiple women. Whatever you're not doing, they will go get somewhere else. And then they'll feel bad about it at first. And then they won't. You not spitting in my mouth or nothing in my... Oh my God, YouTube is going to be in my video. This is funny, but you're not spitting in my mouth. That's nasty. Okay. That's a little extra. Okay. This is not, we know who we talking about. That singer that was deciding to golden shower everybody. Mm-mm. We're not doing that. Okay. We are not doing that. But I will say this. A little bit on your face ain't never hurt nobody. As a matter of fact, it is very skin tightening. Okay. It will give you the most beautiful skin in the world. I am not going to lie to y'all. Unfortunately, it's the truth. Okay? Look it up. Don't say you didn't get it from me, but you know what I'm saying? My skin nice. All right? Y'all better get into it. Okay? So don't withhold sex as a way of getting what you want because it's never going to work, y'all. It just don't work. Okay? The next one, y'all. Let's get on out of here before I get banned from YouTube. I told y'all I'm about to have a Patreon because they will really get into it. You can say whatever you want on your Patreon. On YouTube, you got some regulations. They're going to ban me. The next one is admiration. Woo, this is a big one. Don't forget to let him know how much he is loved and admired. Hopefully you still love and admire him. Because you might not. And if you don't, you got to dig real deep. And as you dig real deep, it will start to come out. Remember the things that he did to get you. Remember the things that he does to help your family, protect, provide. Even if start small, girl, he makes me laugh. That's enough. Focus on that. Let's do that. You know how you in kindergarten, you tell the kid they did good, they color, use the yellow crayon, just yellow. Because they still color out the lines. Use this one, the lightest one. Use that. Focus on the thing that he is doing. That's right. Don't only focus on the things that they're doing that you have a detest for. Okay. This is a job, ladies. This is where the work happens because we don't always feel this way. If you are not meeting my needs, if you're not doing the things that I need as well, it is going to be very hard for me to admire you. It is going to be very hard for me to admonish you. It's going to be very hard for me to put you on that pedestal that you feel you deserve to be on if you're not acting like you're on the pedestal. It is very hard because we do not always feel this way. But here is the thing. Men need to hear words of affirmation and appreciation on a regular basis. This cannot go undone. Remember when I told y'all before about the last video when I said the dressing room and I said then he goes to work. He goes where he does feel valued. And most men always feel valued at work because that's where men's first thing is work and development in this world. That's what they do. They're here for purpose to work. And when they're at work, they feel important. But guess who wants to be at work? Ladies. And then the ladies be like, oh my God, you're just so amazing. And we just like you so much. And your wife must be so appreciative of you. Oh my God. If I had a man like you, I would just, this is where it will be a red flag and a ding, ding, ding for him that you never give him words of encouragement. You never give him admonition. I'm so serious. You never give him accolades. And sometimes you just gotta do it for the littlest things. Like my husband's good at finding things. Like I lose things all the time. Keys, journals, books, uh, anything. Pens, laptops, my Kindle. He will be like, okay, let's backtrack. Let's do this. Let's do this. He will find it in 2.2 seconds. And I would have looked there already in my mind. And the first thing I'll be like is, oh my God, you are just the best. You're so smart. Like, I don't even know how you're so aware when I'm not. And I got that, remember, I told you guys, from my mom, because my mom used to do that to my dad all the time. She was always admonishing him for the things that he did right. But a lot of times we focus so much on the things that they do wrong. This isn't done. That's not done. You didn't do this. You forgot to get the kid from camp. You didn't pay the camp bill today. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. Did you get this from the grocery store? Oh my God, you forgot. I asked for 12 lemons. You brought 3. Remember on the breakup? Like, it's just always something. No man wants to be in a place where they constantly feel inadequate. So they're going to go where they feel adequate. And that's always at work or a side chick house, because that's where they feel adequate. Side chicks have an innate gift to make men feel adequate and admonished and admired, because she got a job to do. She's trying to win a race that she kind of already lost, but they serve a purpose, y'all, for real. And they're also trying to get certain things from him. So this is a very important piece. Don't forget it. Even if you're not happy with a lot of things at the moment, just find the things you are happy with. It's hard for me to believe that you can't find one thing that you're happy with that he's doing. Does he take good care of the kids? Is he a good father? You know, do the kids love him? You know, do he make you guys feel safe? Do you feel safe when he's in the house? You know, focus on whatever is good. Is he a good cook? You know, and when he makes food, and is it good? You know, like just try to focus on the things that he does do right, so that you can say more of that, which will give him more motivation to do more things right. But a lot of times in life, just in general, most people, the human race, focus on what's negative, and then we only attract more negative. If you focus on more positive things, you will attract more positivity. This is just in anything. If you're always going to work complaining about work, you are going to every day find something wrong with work. Change your mindset, change your mentality, and your situations will change. Okay? I have to say this. This is one of the main cause of affairs. A lot of people think the main cause is lack of sex, but it's not. It's a man not feeling like a man in your home. If he doesn't feel like a man in your home, he's just always going to go to where he feels like he is a man. Okay? And women always have this thing. They be like, well, a man who is strong, they don't have an affair. But that's not true. That's not true. Because again, they're capable of having more than one woman. That's just the facts. That's the reality. Men have needs, and the way that their minds work, if they are not getting certain needs met, they will just get it met elsewhere. See, this is the difference between the two of us. A woman in a relationship that's unhappy will continue to nag and berate her mate to give her what she needs. It is very rare that women step out of the marriage to go get a need met. They're just going to keep nagging the man that they're with to meet the need. But men are not nags. Women are. So men will not continue to nag you. Now, again, nowadays, though, women are just as fast and slick as men. And once they realize their needs ain't getting met, they will go elsewhere. But those are kind of like a different breed of woman. I couldn't imagine like cheating, like hiding a guy and then texting, and then now he texting, and then I'm trying to show my husband something on Instagram, and then the guy texts come, oh my God, just thinking about it would give me a heart attack. Like, call in the phone, and then you sleep, and your husband's still up, and then he go through your phone. I just could never even think about just the sneakiness that's attached. Most women worth their weight in salt. Most feminine, good women don't do that. There are some women that will delve out into the cheating arena. All right. Um, that's just the difference between the two of us as a species. But this is one of the main ones, the main reasons for why a man will end up stepping out on his marriage. Okay. The next one, companionship. Okay. This one is your friendship with him. You know, contrary to popular belief, contrary to everything, men do want their wives to be involved in some of their interests. They do. They don't want to live this world alone, and they don't care about their male friends like that. They really don't. They want you to be involved in some of the things that they're involved with. So if they like music, start to try to engage or at least support whatever that is. If they like photography, if they like writing, if they like, have a hobby that they like to do, try to join that with them. Not in an overbearing way, like I can come too. No, but they want you to be interested in some of the things that they're interested in. That's not a big deal. All right. They love when you're interested in their hobbies as well. And they love including you in their day to day and work conversations. Y'all, my husband talks to me about work every day. So, half the time, I don't know what he's talking about because I don't understand it. But I listen intently, and I'm usually listening to how he feels about it. Like, what's going on with you? Okay, so, I understand that. I understand why you're a little upset about that. Okay, I got you. Now, I don't know. I don't need to know the 100% of the details of what happened in the crypto market and how this coin went up and this one went down and you're trying to unlock money. I don't know what you're talking about, but what I do know is you seemed a little frustrated and then it got better. So that part I could resonate with. So I resonate with it. They love talking to you about work. Hey, let me tell you what I did today. Boom, because A, B, C, and D, and then da 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 da. And literally, y'all, sometimes my mind be trailing, like trailing, trailing. And I go, yeah, wow, that's good, babe. That's amazing. You're so amazing because you're so smart. Like, you're just so smart. You always have been a super smart, intelligent man. So, of course, you did that. Of course. And then they want to give you every little detail that you're not really interested in. But you got to listen. Act interested. That's it. I'm not saying like really act, but what I'm saying is like, don't be he talking to you like, yeah, I know, I get it. So what we eating? You know, did you just not interested? He like, never mind. So that's a big deal. Just try to become interested in the things that he's interested in. All right. Um, if he likes basketball, go watch some games with him. If he likes fishing, go to the boat sometimes. If he likes pool, go play pool with him, or at least try to learn. Let him teach you. If he likes the movies, action movies, go see some with him. I don't be interested in half the movies that my husband watch. I just be there. Like now he's into the series called Flash. I'm about to die because it's 23 episodes in one season. And he'd be like, yeah, we gonna watch like 5 of them. 5? Oh, okay, all right. Then I find myself getting into it too. And then the next time I'll be like, I just wish we could watch something else. And then it comes on and I said, we're gonna be watching this to we're 102. It's 8 seasons and it's like 23 episodes in a season. We're gonna be 65 years old by the time we finish watching this. Like, he's like, yeah, so you know what that means? We probably gotta watch a few more a night. I should have said nothing. Oh my God. I don't want to watch more a night. But I didn't say that, It's like, all right. What if you're not withholding sex, but when you have sex, the energy is off because you're mad? Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that's a good one. And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm like, yes, that has happened to me. Yes, I'm mad. I'm not even feeling you. But the energy is off, right? I will say this though. At some point, the energy being off in your sex life or just in sex in general prompts a conversation. And most times, that conversation will prompt some healing as long as they're still getting sex. But if you start to withhold sex, he's going to resent giving you what you need because you're withholding what he needs. So if the energy is off, that's okay because you're still doing the right thing. But you guys got to find a way to open the lines of communication up um, for whatever the issue was, for why you're mad, to be rectified. And then you also got to evaluate what you're mad at and if what you're mad at is really worth it. But I can't tell you that because I wouldn't know. You know, most big things for me, it got to be something big. Something small, I usually can get over it. Like, because like I said, I feel like the universe, God teaches the lessons. So yeah, I'm mad and I'll be over it soon. And you're going to have to learn this anyway because I promise you it comes back. Nobody has that level of faith, but it definitely does. It definitely does come back. They will definitely come back and be like, wow, this is what happened. This is what I learned. And when I say come back, I don't mean that they left. What I mean is when the situation comes full circle, they usually will realize, their eyes will be open to the fact that this was the issue and this is what needed to be rectified. But a lot of times we just try to help it happen. But I know exactly what you're talking about. And it is very individual to the people that are involved. You know what I'm saying? Like when the energy was off for ours, see, my husband don't have no problem saying it. So he was like, yeah, the energy was off. You're not the same. You know, and I'm thinking I'm being normal. I'm doing all this stuff. But he just realized that I was distant during it. And because he asked me, I was able to talk about it and we were able to have a really good conversation concerning that and the issue for why that was. But, everybody's relationship is different. So, you know, but that was a really, really, really good question. And it happens a lot to so many couples, you know. Yeah. So our next one, let me get to this banner. This is our last one, y'all. I think. Yes, this is our last one. It is domestic support. This is the facts that men want a peaceful and well ordered home. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. I mean, they would like a peaceful and well ordered home. And they don't, especially if you don't have little baby kids, like little baby kids is different because little baby kids are terrorists. Okay. They pull every toy out the box. They don't put not one toy back. All day you are chasing little kids to tell them to do what they're supposed to do. Then when you get teenage kids, they act like they don't know how to put stuff back where they got it from. They're dirty, they're stinky, and as a woman, you're always feeling like you are constantly cleaning up after everybody. I literally be feeling like after I clean up and then somebody do something right, I just want to take like the clip off of a grenade, leave the house and throw it in the house and blow everybody up. That's how mad I be. Like, I just clean this. And then you're going to come in here with your big, dirty, stinky shoes and put dark marks on the floor that I just mopped. And this is a big floor to mop. Just vacuumed the whole place, just washed every dish, and now it's almost like most women probably feel like there's no point cleaning when other people live there because what for? Like, why? They just be messing stuff up. But they do want a peaceful and well ordered home. Now, if the husband's in the house and you're out the house working, they should be contributing to the domestic duties that are going on in the house. But the reality of it is they're still going to expect you to do it. She shed me, please, Tiff. No, for real. I'm literally about to have one built. I'm so serious. I'm over it. My aunt came in the house today. She said, ooh, it was yesterday. She said, ooh, all you got is testosterone around you. Give me a hug. Put your head in my bosom. I was like, oh, thank God, because I can't. So many boys. There's so many, y'all. Just so many. Just balls and cheese and stinky feet and fast food and just stuff. Oh, Jesus. Whew. Y'all don't understand. It's about 5 or 6 of them. Don't let cousins come over or step sibling friends. Then they all got the same friends. Y'all, Jesus help me. I'm about to have a she shed built. Please. She shed me, please. But if a man is in the house, okay, so let me just tell y'all this. If the man is in the house and you work out the house, I know it only seems fair that he do the domestic work because you outside, but they don't feel like that. They feel like if you decided to operate in the masculine and be out the house a lot, that was your choice. Now, let's just say you had to, because y'all don't got enough money to make ends meet with one income, right? You got to leave the house. It still don't matter. They still want a peaceful and well-ordered home. And the fact is, a man can't provide that. That's really what the fact is. It's not even that they just feel like, oh, you need to be doing it. They're going to say it like that, but that's because they can't do it. They cannot provide the level of peace and rest that a woman can provide to a home. A woman just brings a certain air and an energy to a house, the way that she cleans, the products that she uses. It's unmatched. A man can never match that. He'll never match the candle scents, the pine salt, the bleach. He will never match that. His energy also cannot produce the level of peace that his home requires. It just can't. Your energy has to do that. And it's unfortunate because if we're stressed out working outside of the home, it is very hard for us to provide peace in the home. But I don't know everybody's personal situation, but whose idea was it to switch the roles anyway? Like, did you have to leave the house and work outside the house? Was you already doing that? Because there's a certain level of peace and cleanliness that you would have if he wasn't there anyway, right? Most women, we like soft, nice, cutesy stuff, fuzzy blankets, I got a ton of them just laying around, little wubbies, smell good candles, These are the things that we bring to the home. We would be doing that whether we had a man or not. You never notice you go into a man's house, he got an air mattress and a TV on a crate. His clothes could be in some bins or on the floor. He don't care. Couple things hanging up in the closet, some orange juice and a beer in the refrigerator. He might have a couple waters if he's trying to be a little enlightened. And that's it. They don't care about the extras. But when they have a woman, they're expecting those extras to be added by you. Another thing is he wants a home that's a refuge away from stresses and the pressures of what he deals with every day outside of the home. Every day that the man leaves the home, he fights a war, especially if he's black. Every day. Every day he runs the risk of getting pulled over by a police officer and risking his life. Every day he runs the risk of somebody being threatened by his mere presence. Every day he might have somebody that is a superior or feels like they are and talks to him a certain kind of way, and he got to bury that thing down real deep even though he wants to pummel him to death. Every day they fight a small battle that we know nothing about as women because we don't have to fight those usually. There is a level of safety that we have just being a woman. A man is looked at as less than a threat if he's walking down the street with a woman than if he's walking down the street by himself. Women bring a level of safety to men's situations and a level of refuge to men's situation. So that's what they're requiring and needing us to do. He also wants to know that things are taken care of on the home front, and that includes him. Babe, you need anything? My husband works a lot in the house, and he won't stop. It's weird. He don't got a eject button. Like, you gonna stop and eat? Like, are you hungry? Do you want water? He won't stop. Comment, there is a sacrifice made when we want things. Therefore, we choose to work outside the house, but we can't get it twisted. Absolutely. That's right. I agree. I agree. Because there's certain things I work outside the house, but there's certain things that I'm still going to make sure are intact as my job, whether he says it or not. Um, they want to make sure, that you are. Another thing is when he is working, they you got to be a place of refuge for him, not a place of aggravation. When he is working, like, are you gonna come in here and watch this movie? He at work, you calling him about every little thing. He's like, oh, I can't deal with this right now. But then he can't be mean to you because then that'd be rude. And he's like, oh, hey, babe, yes. I'll wait for my husband to call me. When he ain't busy, he'll call. I'm at work. He tries to call me when I'm on my break because he knows my break time. But I'm never going to just call him and when I do, everybody thinks this is crazy, but I'd be like, is this a bad time? Can you talk? Because I don't want to just call their husband and just start talking. Like, now he got to be like, whoa, babe, I'm in the middle of something. I got to go. So I'll just be like, hey, you all right? You good? Can you talk? You got time? Oh, yeah, I got time. Sometimes I'll call him. He's at the gym, so I could hear the things. And I'll say, you know what, let me let you go because I could tell that you're in the middle of your workout. So let me let you go. Just call me when you're done. Call me when you're done. If I'm busy, I'll call you right back because normally during the day, I have a teaching day. So I only get certain times where I can actually like not be teaching. So domestic support is really important. Another thing is this is not just about cooking and cleaning, y'all. This is about being a place of peace for him where he can rest his head on your bosom. He's out there every single day. You gotta be the refuge, the safety, the hug that he needs that's nice and warm and welcoming. Not him coming in the house like, hey, you just got an attitude for no reason. The days of attitudes for no reason are weird. Listen, I was talking to my son the other day. He downstairs. And he told me that his girlfriend been acting up, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm talking to him because I be counseling my kids too. And he was like, um, yeah, he was like, I'm trying to really grow as a man. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get my purpose together. I'm glad my Instagram got shut down. He was like, best thing that ever happened to me because now got Facebook, got my Instagram back. But now all I see is motivational stuff, spiritual stuff, gym stuff or healthy eating stuff. He was like, I'm really trying to get on my grind. He said, she up here watching videos of dogs and stuff like that. I'm trying to get her to where I'm at, and it's not happening. I'm like, well, she isn't supposed to move as fast as you because you are the man. So it's your job to bring her to you. He was like, but he's like, yo, ma, I be working all day. I go to work at 10 o'clock in the morning. I get home at 9:30 at night. Then I come into the house to her having an attitude about something so dumb and small. Like, I don't got time for that. Like, I come in the house, I've been working all day. I'm tired. I just want to come home. I want to pet the dog. I want to eat. I want to laugh. He was like, she just got an attitude. Said, I think that's a young woman thing, maybe, but then I find that it's some older women that's out here doing that too. It's not cute. He come to the house after a long day. You just got an attitude. You are supposed to be the smile that he cannot wait to see. You got to be the life that he can't wait to be near. Like, oh, this energy, I needed this. I've been out there all day and now I come home. You're like, hey, so how was your day? Let me tell you what these kids did. And have them laughing, like I was telling my husband something today. I don't know what I was telling him. Oh my God, my son woke up this morning and he was getting ready for camp and he's trying to grow his hair out because he wants some dreads. And he put like some curling cream in his hair. And I went into the bath. He did it in the dark. And I went into the bathroom and his whole hair was white. All of it. Like the whole thing was white. And I was like, first you gotta wet your hair. You can't do that. And then two, you gotta like work it in. You gotta be in the bathroom with the light on. Then he was like, he looked in the mirror. He's like, I look like I'm aging. Oh my God. And so I'm talking about his while I'm at work, telling him like, just let me tell you what your son did this morning, because he sometimes leaves before me. Sometimes I'll leave. It just our schedules can be crazy. But I'm like, it wasn't Aries, it was Rel. I'm like, Rel hair was all white. You got to find a way to make them laugh about their kids, cute stuff their kids be doing, or stepkids. You know what I mean? Like, be the smile and the energy that they can't wait to get to. You cannot be the war that he has to fight every single day. He already got those. Then he got to come home and fight another one. It's a lot of fighting. He don't got the energy for that. You helping to kill him. Honestly. Like, he already got that every single day. He needs that. Your energy, your demeanor, your smile, your joy. Try to work on those things because those come from within. No matter what the situations are, those come from within. Okay? You guys know, because I be telling y'all, I was separated from my husband for mad long. It was like 3 years, 3.5 actually. And I be wanting to know. So I asked him, I said to him, I said, can I ask you a question? This was like when he first, I said, why did you come back? Like, I thought we were over. Like, I don't understand why you came back. And he said to me, there is something that you offer that I'm addicted to. I can't get anywhere else. And he was like, and I thought I could. I played myself. I thought I could go out there and find what you offer and what you do, and I could not. He was like, your smile, your demeanor, your attitude, like you just can't get that anywhere else. He said, and the way you respect me is a way that I've never seen anywhere else. Like it hasn't happened in any other relationship that I've ever had. And he said, he said something about, I always seem happy. I'm like, but I'm not. He was like, you're not, but you never let whatever you're down about get to you that bad. Like you don't do that. I don't always have to like rescue you and save you from, you know, your own self, like your own um downcastness. And I was like, okay. And I still didn't get it until one day he was like trying to write a book, and I was asking him the way that I helped him write his book was I asked him questions, and then I recorded him and I transcribed it. And one of the things that he was saying was that is addicting to a man. A man needs that. He cannot be without that. If you are a woman that offers that, you will never lose that man. And even though he probably got issues, he will probably do everything in his power to try to make you happy. I know that for a fact. Because I did not, my husband was not a good husband in the beginning. He was terrible. Like, when I say terrible, if I do that Patreon, y'all will be like, ooh, sis, you good, because he needed some work. Like, Jesus, God was not through with him yet. Offers that level of respect, Joanna. Like the level of respect and admonition and admiration, they need that. So he never found anybody that offered that in the way that I did and didn't have the spirit that I had. He said everybody got attitude problems, and he said my commitment to self-development. So most men want you to be working on you while they work on them. They don't mind your independence. They don't mind you wanting to do things outside of them. As a matter of fact, find you some business. They like that. Because then you won't always be hounding him all the time, you know, turning into Inspector Gadget, going through his phone, looking for stuff. You won't have time for that because you'll be too busy working on you and the things that, you know, make you tick. Lord, I have a minimal tolerance for certain things. I pray for patience. Hey, here is the thing. I agree with that. But what I will say is this. Again, nothing that is worth anything in this world comes without sacrifice. and or pain sometimes. It just doesn't. Like business, you want to start a business, you're going to sacrifice. And you're going to have moments where you're up all night. You're going to have moments where you're tired. You're going to have moments where you struggle. But it amazes me that we will put so much effort and tolerate so much from the things that we want when it comes to money and business, but we won't put that same principle to a person. People grow, people evolve, people learn lessons, and we don't have the patience because I'm not saying find you a Build-A-Bear. That is not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying at all. And there was a reason why I was separated from my husband because life had to teach him some lessons and I couldn't be there while he taught it. I didn't want the backlash to hit me now. Some of his backlash had to be okay, and I could not be there for that. But those lessons grew him up and they taught him some things about him. And then those things became benefits for me later on. So I'm not saying go get you a Build-A-Bear now. I ain't saying that because but you do got to have some level of patience because they got to have a patience with you, the stuff that y'all don't offer. Because again, there's things that they really need and desire and require that we just don't do. And they just stay and be committed regardless. So hopefully y'all got some men that want to listen to the top 5 needs of women, and maybe it'll help their relationships too. Because if both parties can at least try to attempt to give the other what they need, desire, and require, your relationships will reach new heights. You let go of ego. You let go of, I got to be right. You let go of everything got to go my way. And when you do that, you will cultivate a healthy relationship. Y'all, healthy relationships don't just happen. Who told people that? Where is the memo that said you get with somebody and you just have a healthy relationship? That is not real. You cultivate a healthy relationship the same way you cultivate anything else. You want a successful business, you got to grow and cultivate the business. You want a successful parenting, you got to grow and cultivate and add into and pour into your children. Healthy relationships don't just happen. It's not like pancakes, just add water. You got to grow it. You got to add this, take a little bit of this out, add this, whisk this in, add that. It's up to you. How healthy your relationship is and grows into, it's up to you and you two alone. Or you could be like everybody else and just throw in the towel and be like, when things look bad and when things look ugly, well, I'm done with this because I can't. And then you're going to be out there with some other knucklehead that's doing the same exact things that knucklehead was doing. And you should have just worked on it anyway. That's my biggest problem, getting over stuff, regardless if it's big or small. I think it's the only child syndrome. I'm so used to getting my way. This is helping me so much. I got a lot of growing. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, only child syndrome. Oh, you spoiled. That's all it is. You spoiled, used to things going your way, used to getting what you want. That's not a big deal. Now you just got to figure out how to work as a team. That's all. It's not even, older child syndrome and baby syndrome. When you're the baby of the family or you're the only child, yeah, because it's like you always got your way, like things went the way you wanted them to go. That's fine. That's not a big deal. But it's all about self-awareness. You know that. Half the battle is already won for you. You got it. It's one thing if you ain't know, you just like, I feel like I'm fine. I be doing stuff right. And he just be acting up. No, this is awareness. That's all it takes, y'all. A little bit of awareness, a little bit of accountability, a little bit of, all right, how can I get past this? I used to be like that too. Like, I just couldn't get over stuff. But it wasn't even because I was the only child. I'm the oldest child. But the way my mind works is I have like a photographic memory. And then I realized that moving forward after anger is a choice. You don't have to stay stuck. If you stay stuck, it's because you chose to stay stuck back there. You gotta choose, make a conscious decision and effort to move forward past hurt and anger. That's just how it works. It's for everything, everybody, not just your relationship with anybody. Forgiveness is a choice. My mother always taught this lesson. She said, forgiveness is for you, not the other person. When you stay in unforgiveness, you remain hinged to the person and the situation that hurt you. In order to unhinge yourself from it, you have to make a choice to forgive. And the energy that you need to attempt it comes after you made the choice. You're not going to just be able to forgive, and the feelings don't come overnight, but one day you'll wake up and you'll be over it. My husband has done a lot of things to hurt me. He will admit it to the top, at the top of a mountain, and say, I have done so much to hurt this woman that it is amazing that she's still with me. Every day he thanks me for my grace and mercy. Like, I thank you for just still being here. I thank you for giving me another chance. He says it all the time. I'd be like, please stop saying that. Like, it's fine. I don't want to talk about it no more. Like, it's over. Okay. But that, it's a choice. It doesn't just happen naturally. I'm taking this time to work on myself. My parents had a very unhealthy marriage. It was more peaceful when she was a single mom. I'm literally unlearning at 38. Right. It's unfortunate that sometimes when our the way our parents relationship was and the way we grew up, how much it becomes a part of who we are as well. And you have a lot to unlearn and a lot of new things to learn. And the good thing about it is you can actually rewire yourself though. Because again, people, like I said, we don't need classes to be married, but that's, or to have kids, and that's the two most important things in the world. People sometimes don't know how to have a healthy relationship. That has to be taught. First and foremost, you have to be healthy as an individual by yourself. Then you can join up with somebody else that's trying to be happy. Then toxicity is a choice. Arguing is a choice. Fighting is a choice. Being egotistical and not vulnerable and not telling your truths are a choice. Cheating, lying, choices. Marrying the wrong person, a choice. That's why these are things we should know. This is why I said before you get married, before you take a man's ring, are these things you're willing to be able to offer him? And before he asks a woman to marry him, he's going to need to watch my video on Wednesday. Are you going to be able to offer these things to a woman? So that's all I have to say tonight, y'all. I thank you guys so much for watching. You know, it's such good vibes in here. I love the camaraderie. I love the support. I love the support that you all have for each other. And I love the transparency because that's how I am. I don't have nothing to hide, y'all. If you got a question, you ask me, even if it's about me. Like, girl, why you taking back? I'll tell you now. I'll tell you. But I just want to thank you guys all for watching and being a part of this broadcast tonight. Again, like the video. If you like the video, please show the support and like the video. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel so you get all the updates. And if you have anybody else that would enjoy this content, please do not hesitate to share it with somebody that you think would enjoy the content. Okay. That's it for tonight. I went a little bit over, probably just because I was reading the comments and just enjoying being with y'all. But I will see you guys on Wednesday. And once again, that's going to be It's Not Easy Being a Husband. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love y'all. Bye.